Good morning. Welcome to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Happy Tuesday. Another very mild late October day. It is going to be a nice one again today. And we've got plenty for you coming up here on 95.3 WBEV today. Coming up at 11:10 on Taking Care of Business, we're going to be joined by the Beaver Dam Area Chamber of Commerce who are celebrating Manufacturing Month. And we'll be visiting with a couple of area manufacturers. I know we'll have somebody from Paper Dimensions LLC will be here, and we'll learn a little bit about that. And somebody from Brewer Metal Craftsman going to be along as well. And we'll be also chatting with somebody from the Manufacturers Business Alliance and learning a little bit about that organization as well. And coming up tomorrow night here on 95.3 WBEV, it's Bucks basketball. The Bucks open their season taking on the 76ers. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Right after the Barn Show here on 95.3 WBEV. And we've got a couple of high school football games coming up for you this Friday night. Postseason play begins this week. The regular season wrapped up this last Friday. And we've got the Beaver Dam football team kicking off their postseason on Friday night. They will be traveling to Menasha. You can hear that game over on our sister station, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Also live video streamed here on Daily Dodge TV. Wade Bates, Tim Ladrin, and Jack Wilski will be on the road to Menasha to bring you all the coverage of that game. Also on Friday night, Columbus kicking off their postseason, hosting Arcadia. We'll have that game for you streaming on Daily Dodge TV. Mike Tronson and Tim Haldeman and Charlie Dern will be on the road to Columbus to bring you coverage of that one. Lots going on this weekend. Of course, Fall Downtown Fest happening this weekend in Beaver Dam. Going to be a good time. Kicks off about 10 a.m. With trick-or-treating. There's a multitude of businesses downtown Beaver Dam that will have trick-or-treating, so you can bring the kiddos down with their trick-or-treat bags or buckets and walk around a little bit and get some treats. And, of course, the casket races kick off at 1 o'clock. That's going to be a lot of fun. Our team has put together a team, so we will be there with the casket races. I think so far we're keeping our casket theme a top secret, so you will have to come down there on Saturday to find out what our theme is. But going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this weekend. Also, though, on Saturday, October 26th, the Beaver Dam Family Center has a Halloween open skate that's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Beaver Dam Family Center, right over there across from Beaver Dam High School. It's a $5 fee, and that includes your skate rentals. So you can come out and skate to your favorite Halloween music, and they do encourage you to come in costume. Imagine that, ice skating. Imagine ice skating in a full Chewbacca costume. That's hard for me to picture, but sounds like a lot of fun. So that, again, is coming up this Saturday, October 26th from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. at the Beaver Dam Family Center. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, the store for your floor, and so much more. Of course, October is the Gold Tag sale, so just a week or so left of the Gold Tag sale, and so make sure you get in there and take advantage of all the great deals across the store, including on their great selection of in-stock carpet. We were talking to Randy the other day, and just so many rolls of carpet. Good chance you're going to find what you're looking for. If by some crazy reason you don't, there's also a number more they can order in for you, but a great selection of in-stock carpet. And of course, during the Gold Take sale, not only are you going to save some money, but that any in-stock carpet comes with the free carpet cushion as well. And they've got some great brands to choose from, including the Abbey carpet and the Staten carpet, plus they've got wool carpet. Also check out their great selection of LVP flooring. They've also got the real hardwood flooring. They can also help you out with countertops, waterproof flooring, vanities, cabinets, all that good stuff. That is why they are the store for your floor and so much more. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at proflr.com. Coming up after the break, we are going to visit with the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadet Program. We're going to learn a little bit about what that's all about and a couple of fun upcoming events that you can take advantage of. That's up next on Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's 2000.
Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Kale Zomer in the Daily Dodge TV studio. Charlie Dern behind the video controls. We've got Wally up in the Slumberland studio today, and excited to be joined by our next guest. We are visiting with the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadet Program, and joining us on the show now is the lead advisor for the cadet program, and somebody we're familiar with here at WBEV, Anthony Kuenzi. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I know, long time no see. I'm doing well. For those who don't know, Anthony has previously been a part of our team. He actually has done a little bit of the video stuff before. He got here today. I said, "Oh, cool. Are you here to run video for the Daily Dodge TV studio today?" So always good to.
Today.
Yeah, but you've been chasing your dream of being a firefighter paramedic here for a couple of years, and proudly employed with the Beaver Dam Fire Department for how long has it been now?
5 years now.
5 years.
2
Man.
full-time or 3 full-time now, and
Only
5.
felt like a year or two ago that you started with the fire department.
Yeah.
But it's something you really enjoy, isn't it?
Yes. Oh yeah. I
you have
love
a lot of fun. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the cadet program and learn a little bit here in just a minute. But we want to start out, and part of the reason you're in today is because you guys have a great fundraising opportunity coming up this weekend. Talk about that a little bit.
So, like you said, we have a fundraiser coming up. It's our Brat Fry, our last Brat Fry of the year, and it's actually at the fire station. So it's this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'll be serving brats, cooking them right in front of the ambulances, right out front of the fire station on Henry Street. Come on out, get a brat. Well, brats, burgers, and hot dogs. And another thing that we'll have this year that we also had last year was we have a caramel apple sundae bar. So we get a boat and we slice up the apple, put the apple in there, hot caramel on it, and then we have a different assortment of toppings that you can put on it. So
Yum.
And then we also have hot chocolate or hot cider. We haven't decided one or the other
Okay.
yet, but it's usually cold when we do it, so we always want to have something hot. So
Yeah, it's looking obviously the last few days have been nice, but I think starting tomorrow we're looking at a little bit of a cool down. Looks to be pretty decent on Saturday, but still a little on the cool side.
Oh, yes.
So a hot beverage would sound good. And I mean, brats being made by firefighters, you guys have to learn to cook pretty well, so I'm betting those are going to be pretty good.
Oh yes, yeah. We get our brats from Yankees Pig in Juneau, so they're
All
always a
right.
huge supporter of us. That's where we're gonna get all of our stuff from.
And you're not going to have any brats that are overcooked by big flare-ups because it's the fire department, so you know how to keep your fires under control, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
All right, so that again is coming up this Saturday, October 26th, right at the fire department, you said?
Yep, at the fire department.
All right, fantastic, which is over on the corners of Lincoln and so now I forget the cross street.
Henry,
Thank you.
Lincoln
I
and
want to say
Henry.
South. No, South is a few streets over. Henry Street. Thank you very much. That's this Saturday. And the Brat Fry is in support of the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadet Program. Tell us a little bit about the Cadet Program, how it got started, and kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, so the cadet program is open to any and all high school students, and it allows the students to come in and really see the fire service and the EMS service. It's more than just seeing it in a movie or reading about it online. You actually get to come in, get to do the fire skills, get to do the EMS skills, and truly learn if it's something that you're interested or not. There's a lot of kids that might grow up and see the fire trucks at elementary school or wherever and be, hey, that looks really cool. I might want to do that. Well, joining the cadet program, at least for me, it kind of helps you realize, like, hey, I can actually do this as a job. This is actually something that it really, truly is something that's realistic for me to do. So
It's nice because it's really kind of a hands-on, let's find out if this is for me type thing, which is so rare in so many places. There's, how often can you go, all right, well, I get to kind of ride along and like be hands-on for this to see if it's something I actually want to pursue as a career before I go through all that training.
Right. Yeah, we actually, so when you join as a cadet, you get a turnout gear. You wear the same exact gear that we wear. It's all hand-me-down stuff, so it's the real deal. And we train 2 times a month. The first time we train, we do EMT basic type skills. So whether it's patient assessment, like taking a pulse, breath rate, all that type of stuff, or we're talking about different meds that we might give, or how we pull a patient out of a car accident. And then the second day of each month is our fire day. So we do the firefighter 1 type skills. So that's your basic pulling a hose line off a truck, putting water on fire, raising ladders. This past month, we were actually out at Wally's Salvage Yard and LaGrange Salvage Yard, and they provided cars for us to actually cut apart and rescue victims out of the cars. So they're practicing patient extrication. So we actually go out and do the real tasks.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think you just kind of answered this, but I was going to ask about if you're going to be in the cadet program, what the time commitment is, but it sounds like 2 days a month, essentially.
Yep, 2 days a month, and then we like to have our fundraisers quarterly.
Okay,
least.
very good. How long, and remind me again how long that program lasts, that somebody's going to be in that program?
Yeah, so we've had students that join, December, their senior year, and we've had students that join, I've had one kid that's been, emailing me pretty much every month, and he was still in 7th grade. Sorry,
oh wow,
sorry, bud, you got to wait till you're a freshman. And so, June of his freshman year, he joined right away, and he's loving it. He's been in it. He's actually from DeForest. We've got kids from all over, so it's not just Beaver Dam. We got kids from Juneau, from Waupun, Horicon, Beaver Dam, and now DeForest. He goes to Lakeside Lutheran.
So is that something that they can do throughout all of high school if they want to go that long? Basically, As long as you're in high school, you're qualified, you can kind of, as how long you stay in it, it's kind of up to you?
Yeah, so there is no end date. It's not like you've been in for a year, all right,
sure,
time to move on. It's, hey, you're in it, learn it the first time. If you're in it for next year, maybe you can learn something new. Or we also do have leadership opportunities. So we've got some of our members that have been on for a while. They've taken on a lieutenant and a captain role. So they actually start instructing some of the more simpler type lessons, the putting on the gear, how to use a fire hose, type of stuff like that. So they are no longer just getting the fire skills. They're also getting those leadership skills and, really preparing for the fire service. You're no longer just getting those hard skills. You're getting those soft skills as well.
All right, sounds like a fantastic program. Talking with Anthony Kuenzi from the Beaver Dam Fire Department. He is the lead advisor for the Cadet Program, which is a fantastic program for our area high schoolers who are maybe thinking about a career in emergency services. We're going to talk a little bit more with Anthony, and we'll learn a little bit more about the Cadet Program and talk about some other upcoming things that are going to be happening at the fire department in just a few minutes. Here on Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Through the
Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering. Also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Sandy and Rick and the whole team at McKinstry's are really excited to see everybody at Fall Downtown Fest this Saturday, October 26th. And, of course, McKinstry's will be a big part of that. First and foremost, you can stop by anytime this week and make sure to check out their Scarecrow. They're part of the Scarecrows on Parade downtown. Their Scarecrow is right out front of the store, so you can check that out. They put in some great work on that. And, of course, during Fall Downtown Fest this Saturday, they'll have their very popular box maze. Yes, box maze. They take a bunch of huge cardboard boxes and glue and tape them all together into this really cool maze the kids can crawl through. I know my kids checked it out last year and absolutely loved it. They could spend hours in there. So that'll be in the back parking lot right behind McKinstry's during Fall Downtown Fest. So stop in there. Also a great chance, maybe while the kids play around in the box maze, you can stop in and check out their 3 floors of home furnishings, including everything for your home, from wall decor to sofas and love seats to that great selection of rocker recliners. They've got the power lift chairs as well. They've got a great, beautiful selection of area rugs, beautiful dining sets, all the accessories you need as well. So stop in and take advantage of their store-wide fall sale going on right now as well. Well, you stop in this week or you stop in Saturday during Fall Downtown Fest. And they can't wait to see you down there. McKinstry's Home Furnishings under the Big Red Awning in downtown Beaver Dam. You can also visit them online at mckinstryshomefurnishings.com. We are back with Anthony Kuenzi, lead advisor for the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadet Program. Learned a little bit about the Cadet Program and what it's all about. A great opportunity for our area high school students. And it comes down to more than just your 2 days a month of some things, but there's actually a couple of trips that the cadets get to take advantage of as well. One being a big one out to New York. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this past year, we went to New York City, actually. It was in June. We went for 2 days, and we went, left in the morning. We went to a bunch of fire stations in New York City. And then the second day, we went to the New York City Fire Department Training Center. And we saw where all the firefighters who have put on the New York fire helmet, they have trained at that training center. And then in the afternoon, we went to the 9/11 Memorial Museum.
Wow.
The trip was very influential, very big. All of our cadets that we have in our program now, none of them were born when 9/11 happened. I mean, I wasn't even a year old when it happened. And so we all really lack that firsthand knowledge and firsthand experience of all what went on, and truly shaped how we process and how we actually operate in the fire service. And so it's a really huge thing that we want to try and get our cadets to have more than just textbook knowledge. We want them to have firsthand knowledge, to actually see what happened. And so getting them to go on that New York trip truly did help them out, and they all had tons of fun doing it. And that trip was fully funded. The cadets didn't pay a thing. We didn't pay anything to do it. It was all fully funded by our awesome donations and supporters of businesses that have donated and our fundraisers that we held. So
just like the Brat Fry that's going to be coming up this Saturday.
Oh,
That's why it's important to support those fundraisers. And I mean, for going into for people in the fire service, I don't know that I can think of a more impactful trip than doing that, and because it really has affected the way that the fire service does their job and how they operate. So that's a pretty big impact. But you also do some campus tours as well. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yep. So this year, the cadet program obviously is trying to have the cadets become the best firefighters they can be, and we are also trying to introduce them into the idea of going to college as well, so that they can go get their associate's degree or whatever. So we're trying to show them the options that they have out there. So this past year, we went to Fox Valley Technical College and toured their public safety training center campus that they have up there in Appleton. And then we went and we toured the Green Bay Fire Department. and we can see the differences and similarities that how our department operates versus theirs. And it's always cool for the cadets to see it's more than just Beaver Dam Fire Department out there. There's all these other departments. And so this coming fall, actually next month, we're going to be going to Madison Tech College to go to tour their fire campus. And then we are actually going to be going to Truex. It's the fire department that serves the Madison Fire Department, Madison Airport, and the National Guard Airport there.
Okay,
so,
very good.
Yeah.
Well, so again, you can see why the cadet program is such a great opportunity. If anybody out there has a high schooler in their life that they feel like this might be a good fit or might be interested, how do they go about learning more about the program and maybe getting involved?
It's a great question. So we have many ways that you can reach out to get involved. One way is to go to the City of Beaver Dam website and go to the fire department tab, and there's a link to the cadet website, or just go straight to the Beaver Dam Fire Department cadet website, which is www.bdfdcadets.org.
Okay.
So right on there's a link to the application. Or if you're on Facebook, it's the Beaver Dam Fire Department Explorers. It's still by our old name, but
okay.
The Beaver Dam Fire Department Explorers, and everything you could ever want is on that Facebook page.
All right, very good. Again, we're talking with Anthony Kuenzi. He's lead advisor for the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadet Program, and we just got a minute or two left with you. But before you go, a couple of things coming up that we want to talk about. Let's talk first about the upcoming. There's a pinning ceremony coming up.
Yep, pinning ceremony. So members that have been on for over a year or have reached the end of their probationary period, they get pinned off probation and they get their badge that I'm wearing here. And that means that they are a fully fledged firefighter. And so we've got a good handful of great firefighters and EMTs and paramedics that are coming off their probationary period. And so they are getting pinned. That's on November 1st at the fire station. And we're also handing out a number of awards, too, for prestigious calls or life saves, different stuff. So,
and if even if you don't know anybody on the fire department, you're not really involved, I would always recommend just going to one pinning ceremony. It's open to the public. Anybody can come. It's a really neat deal. I got a chance to be there for your first pinning ceremony, and it gives you a lot of insight into what the fire service means to these folks who are working it. So then again, that's coming up November 1st.
Correct.
November 1st
Yep.
at the Beaver Dam Fire Department. You've also got, of course, it's Halloween season, and there's lots of trick-or-treating, and that includes at the Beaver Dam Fire Department.
Yes, so one of our other groups we have at the fire station is the Beaver Dam Auxiliary. They support the police and fire on any big calls or just in general. But what they have is they have their safe trick-or-treat event going on at the fire department also on the 26th. So it is in the afternoon. I believe it starts around noonish or maybe thereafter. Come in. A lot of local businesses, they have a table there, and they are, they're representing their company, but they're also handing out candy to the kids. And the auxiliary has a fun time setting it up, and they enjoy seeing all the kids come in costumes and getting the candy. So.
It's a great opportunity to bring the kids out and do some really fun trick-or-treating and
you can see a fire truck
and get to show off your costume all in one place. What an exciting time.
Yep.
All right, so that's coming up this weekend, and then again we'll remind folks about the Brat Fry happening on Saturday.
Yes, stop by the Brat Fry, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you are wanting to place an order for larger orders, you can message us on the Beaver Dam Fire Department Explorers Facebook page, and we will get back to you on there, and we may even deliver. I have to talk to Chief on that one, but I'm thinking
gotta
he'll
clear
be okay
that one
with
yet.
it.
and mention that dessert you were talking about.
Oh
too,
yes,
that's
and
be
the
available.
caramel apple bar. It's going to be great. It was a great hit last year. Sliced apples, hot caramel, and an assortment of toppings. It's always a good hit. So.
All right, very good. So stop out there and support the Beaver Dam Fire Department Cadets Program. Anthony Kuenzi, the lead advisor for the Cadets Program from the Beaver Dam Fire Department. Nice to catch up with you, pal.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back here.
All right, coming up in a little bit, we'll be back with more Hometown Today, and next hour we are going to visit with the folks from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. So looking forward to that conversation as well. This is Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. And Kale's Homer here in the Daily Dodge TV studio. We've got Wally up in the Slumberland studios. And joining us on the phone now is our pal, Dr. Verlo. Good morning, Dr. Verlo.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Doing fantastic, and it's the weather the last few days has been absolutely beautiful. Looking at a cool down, and I was just thinking we're coming up on Halloween time, and I know the kids, my kids are super excited to get out there trick or treating, and we were just talking about the safe trick or treat at the Beaver Dam Fire Department coming up, and so there's lots of opportunities and. Means our kids are going to be filled with sugar, and might be a little tough to get them to sleep. But I tell you, one tip that might help get them to sleep is a Verlo mattress. And yes, they too come in those twin sizes and all those sizes that you're going to have on your kids' beds.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now I will put a disclaimer: there's no Verlo mattress that is going to overrate too much sugar. So you gotta be determined and wise on that part. But specifically for kids. We have our V1 line and V3 line. It's still fairly budget-friendly. And, when you're looking for a kid's bed, depending on the age of your child, you really want to consider, now, do I want a mattress that is going to last the next couple of years, till they get to sleeping dry or till they get into their teens, or do I want a mattress that's going to last them all of their at-home years? And, make that as your determination of where you would select. I'm going to tell you your V1 line would be adequate more like for a child that's, say, like just coming out of the crib and probably preteen, where if you've got more of a 10-year-old and on up, you're probably going to want to perhaps consider the V3 line just so you get the adequate support, because in those years from 10 to 15 to 18, their bodies are turning into adults. And you really need the proper support for that as well.
Mm-hmm. What else is happening going on over at Verlo?
Well, we are keeping up with the trick and treat theme. Yet good through another week. We're offering a few different options. Nothing tricky. It's all good stuff. You can get 0% financing up to a year on qualifying purchases, or if you say I don't really need the financing option, we're going to give you an additional 5% off your total purchase. Or on the V5, 7, 9, and 11 lines, if you buy the mattress, you can get your box spring for free. So those are the things that got going on. Yet another week, we're going to discontinue that at the end of October. Also, I just wanted to talk to you guys, too. It's a little bit early, but Thanksgiving is coming.
It is.
And often the week before Thanksgiving, people realize that, oh, my goodness, Aunt Margaret is coming and she can't sleep on that. If you want to get your guest beds in order, now would be the time to start thinking about that as well. So I just wanted to put that out because I've been here at Verlo for 21 years, and the most busy week is always the week before Thanksgiving, it seems.
Ah, yes, people starting to realize, I'm going to eat a lot of turkey. I don't need to look like a turkey when everybody comes over and has to sleep on uncomfortable mattresses.
Yeah, you don't want to be winging it.
Yeah, see, there you go. Exactly. And where can folks find Verlo?
Sure. So our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5, and Sundays, 11 to 5. We're located up in Beaver Dam by you guys, 1613 North Spring Street, down here in Fort Atkinson, 201 North Main.
All right. Dr. Verlo, always a pleasure catching up with you.
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
Thanks, you too. That is
bye-bye.
Dr. Verlo with Verlo Mattress Factory Stores. Of course, the best place to go if you're looking for a good night's sleep. Got a few minutes here. Of course, as I mentioned, coming up next hour, we're going to be joined by the cast from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Looking forward to that conversation and meeting some of the cast members. In the meantime, I did want to bring in our producer Wally and our video producer Charlie, and maybe educate you a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see how much you guys know about this, but a lot of days, I'm kind of I don't want to say I'm a history buff, but I do enjoy learning about history, and so a lot of days, sometime in the morning, I kind of like to check out things that had happened that day in history. And one happened to catch my eye this morning, which is that it was this day back in 1934 that the FBI caught up with Pretty Boy Floyd and took him out. Pretty Boy Floyd at the time was public enemy number one. Of course, now that you may know that as most wanted man in America is really what that is. And with the elimination of Pretty Boy Floyd, that put into the spotlight John Dillinger, who became public enemy number one after that. What you guys might not know is some of the ties that Wisconsin and our area has with some of these 1930s gangsters. Were you aware of this?
In what capacity, I guess I should be asking you?
Well, in a couple of capacities. So number one, back in the 30s, Wisconsin was actually kind of a hotbed for some of these gangsters because they operated out of the Chicago area. And when they needed to lay low for a little bit, they'd come up to Wisconsin. Particularly, they really liked northern Wisconsin because at the time, it was pretty spread out. Back then, you didn't have social media or nightly news or anything like that, really. So people, when you'd have public enemy number one and these huge criminals, really the only way to learn about them was essentially the newspaper, or if you go to the movies, they'd have these little, 2-minute newscasts that would play before the movie. So a lot of people weren't nearly as up to date, and obviously as you came into Wisconsin, and especially once you got northern Wisconsin, there weren't a lot of people, so it was really easy for these gangsters to come up and just kind of live amongst the people and lay low and not have anybody really recognize them or realize who they are. So there was a lot of hotbeds, but the other tie, and this is really fun, is folks who have been in this area long enough remember several years ago, there was a movie called Public Enemies that had a number of scenes filmed in our area. And Public Enemies is basically the biopic about John Dillinger and his cast of characters. Babyface Nelson was another famous 30s gangster that ran with Dillinger and a couple of others. And there was several scenes filmed in this area. I actually, when they were filming, one of the places they filmed was over in Columbus. I actually worked in Columbus at the time, and so I got the opportunity to see some of the scenes being filmed. I know they did a couple of scenes at the Kurth Mansion, which was pretty cool, which for the purpose of the movie acted as, let's just say, a house of ill repute. We'll leave it there. I know they also did, I believe they did some filming downtown. I think they had turned one of the buildings into the scene for a bank robbery. Actually did a bank robbery and getaway scene downtown, which was cool. And a couple of scenes they filmed out on the edge of town, some driving scenes. And then there's a scene in the movie shortly after a bank robbery where John Dillinger and his girlfriend Billy escape to Arizona, and they try to go lay low at Hotel Congress. And there's this great scene it's a panning shot of the Hotel Congress in Arizona, except it's not actually the real Hotel Congress. Any guesses, Wally, at what hotel it actually was?
I barely know what hotels are in this town, let alone what ones are in Public Enemies, Kale.
Fair enough. So you think you're looking at Hotel Congress in Arizona, but what you're actually seeing is Hotel Rogers in downtown Beaver Dam.
Ooh, I didn't know that. That's a fun little nugget.
Complete with cacti and all. They filmed the scene. Johnny Depp, who played John Dillinger in the movie, Marion Cotillard, who played Billy. They pulled up to the front of the Hotel Rogers and then checked into the hotel. Unfortunately, it did not end well for them. That was where the law kind of finally caught up with them. Dillinger did, after that, he was taken into custody. He did manage to escape custody just for a little bit and go visit Billy one last time. But it wasn't long after that then the FBI got to Dillinger as well. So that was a lot of fun. I got to watch some of the scenes in Columbus. Also got to hang out and watch them film a couple of takes of pulling up and walking into Hotel Rogers. And actually, the other cool thing is where I was standing, there was this huge trailer that the crew had brought along and had parked kind of right next to where I was standing. And I noticed the back of the trailer was open. I was curious, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in the trailer. Is there extra film equipment? You don't get to see, up that stuff up close very often. And I looked in the back, and what I found was actually Johnny Depp's motorcycle that he brings with him to different shoots. So that was pretty cool. So neither of you guys have seen Public Enemies yet, huh?
I have not personally.
Okay. but Charlie has seen it.
All right. Well, see, my whole thing is that I'm hearing about mobsters in Beaver Dam, and all I can think about is instead of like beer running, embezzlement, all that, they're just running cheese. That's like
They're
what I'm
running
talking
cheese.
myself into believing.
They're running cheese. There you go. Yeah, maybe, I'll bet in Wisconsin, that would be about as valuable as cash if you were to hold up a cheese place versus a bank. Probably about equal value in these parts of the country. So yeah, there you go. This day in 1934, the FBI caught up with Pretty Boy Floyd, bringing his run to an end. He was a pretty nasty gangster too, responsible for quite a few bank robberies and unfortunately the loss of quite a few FBI agents too in his run. Coming up next hour on Hometown Today, we'll visit with the cast from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. We're looking forward to that here on Hometown Today. It's presented by Professional Floor Covering, the store for your floors and more. Pay them a visit at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. You can also visit online at proflr.com. Check out their great selection of different carpet. They've got the Abbey carpet line, which, of course, has got that great guarantee on it. They've got the Stanton carpet line, that really nice, durable line, great for stairs, great for custom area rugs, and those types of things. They've also got a fantastic selection of countertops to choose from, including quartz, granite, laminate, solid surface. All your flooring needs, from LVP to hardwood to porcelain to area rugs and everything in between, plus everything you need to renovate your bathroom or kitchen. They've got free in-home measurements and quotes. You can visit their beautiful showroom at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, or take a virtual tour at proflr.com. More Hometown Today coming up next on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Kale Zomer here in the Daily Dodge studio. Charlie Dern running our video today, and Corey Sparks up there in the Slumberland studio, pushing all the buttons on the radio side. And looking forward to our next guest here. We are joined by some of the folks from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Yes, so that's why you get your little teaser of the Candyman, because we are talking about the Candyman today. Looking forward to a great show, and we're joined. We're going to be meeting a few of the actors from the show today. Right now, we are joined by Andy Estervig, who is the director of the show. And what's your official full-time title at Wayland? Because you're also just the overall music director there, right?
I'm the choir director. I'm a dorm head of one of our guy dorms, and then I do the musical and the play.
And we've had a chance to visit with you a few times over the years, so always nice to see you. We're also joined in this first segment by a couple of the cast of the show. We have Lily Westergaard, and Lily, you are playing. You are playing Charlie. That's a big role to fill. Yeah. We're also joined by Jonah, and I wrote it down to pronounce it, and now I'm questioning Retacek. Retacek. And Jonah, who are you playing?
Yes, I'm playing Willy Wonka.
You're playing Willy Wonka himself.
Yes.
That is exciting. Well, let's talk a little bit about your roles. Lily, you are playing Charlie. Did you specifically try out for the role of Charlie, or is it kind of where you ended up?
When I tried out, I was hoping for a bigger part.
Okay.
And I'm really glad to be able to play Charlie. It's a really cool role with lots of different songs and cool acting experiences. So I'm very excited to be able to play that role.
That's very good. What? Well, let me first ask, and I'll ask of each of our cast members. Willy Wonka and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Is that a movie you grew up with as a kid? You were familiar with?
Yes, I've watched the oldest version, and I watched it again to kind of prepare for the show. I remember watching it when I was younger, and I really liked that movie.
Okay, very good. How long have you been involved in theater?
I've been doing musicals since I was like 4, and I've been involved in like all of my school productions from elementary school, middle school, high school.
Okay.
Definitely a big part of my life.
All right. It sounds like it. So you are playing Charlie in Willy Wonka. What do you do to get prepared to play this role?
Well, since Charlie's supposed to be a younger kid, I definitely try to embody that childlike excitement, especially when like the golden ticket gets found and he gets to go to the chocolate factory to see Wonka. Definitely trying to fit into like younger shoes than mine. Definitely, that's what I try to do to prepare. Yeah.
Is there anything about the character that you find yourself being able to relate to?
In the beginning parts, when he gets multiple disappointments from not being able to find the ticket, definitely his sadness and frustration there I can relate to, but then the excitement that follows when he does find it is really cool too.
Now you're playing Charlie, who is a big fan of those Willy Wonka bars, is super excited to go visit the Willy Wonka candy factory. So I have to ask, do you have a sweet tooth? Are you a big fan of candy?
Definitely, I love chocolate.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear that Mr. Estervig here cast the role the proper way. I don't know that you could have. I mean, does it make sense to even have somebody play Charlie who's like, I'm like a vegetarian. I'm not into the candy.
Well, that's the acting part, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose if you're a good enough actor, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're here with some of the cast from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Talking here with Lily Westergaard, who's going to be playing Charlie. Jonah Retacek is going to play Willy Wonka. And we also are speaking with the director of the show, Andy Estervig. So, Jonah, talk a little bit about your acting history. Have you been involved in the theater? Is this kind of a first time for you?
Yeah, no, I've been in theater for a long time. I started off in the community theater downtown. and I've been doing that ever since. So I started when I was in 5th grade, I think, and I fell in love with acting. I started doing public speaking at my school, and now continued in high school as well. So yeah, I've been doing this for a long time.
All right, very good. We're chatting with the cast of Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. We've got to step aside for a quick break. We'll come back with more here on Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering. Also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. We are joined by some of the cast and crew from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Coming very soon, we're going to be chatting with director Andy Estervig about all the details coming up. And actually, let's throw out the show dates right away while we're thinking of it. We'll revisit again.
So the show's next week. It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. That's the 31st through November 2nd. They're at 7:30 at Wayland Academy. Tickets are on sale at the door. We won't sell out. We can always put up more chairs in the gym. So we have tickets $5 for adults, $5 for students and seniors, and $10 for adults.
All right, very good. Go check it out. My birthday weekend sounds like a great way to celebrate.
That would be a great way to celebrate. We'll even sing happy birthday to you.
I like that idea. All right. Speaking of Willy, we've got Jonah Ratajczyk, who is playing Willy Wonka. We were also just chatting here a few minutes ago with Lily Westergaard, who is playing Charlie. But Jonah, you're playing Willy Wonka. When you what drew you? Is that something you specifically tried out for? Is it something where it just kind of landed?
Yeah, I was definitely trying out for Willy Wonka. I heard about the show a couple weeks before auditions, and I started thinking, and it'd be pretty cool to play that role. I think he's such an interesting character, and so.
What does intrigue you about Willy?
Yeah, he's a little bit loopy. So he's just kind of crazy at times, and so I think that's really fun. It's something really fun to do as an actor, and to perform like that when it's something you can't really do in real life. It's really interesting. It's really fun.
He's kind of a charismatic character, isn't he?
Yeah.
Are you somebody who finds yourself being kind of a more charismatic person? Does that personality kind of match?
I'd say so. I would say so.
I see Mr. Estervig over here chuckling, going, "Yes." I don't think I've ever seen a head nod so violently before. My next question was gonna be, how do you relate? But I think we just figured that out, is how you relate to Willy. But he's a little bit on the kooky side too.
Yes.
Isn't that fair to say?
Definitely. Yeah.
Is there a favorite piece of Willy, or a favorite scene that you like to do?
Yeah. So I remember growing up watching the boat scene when he's definitely going crazy on the boat. And so performing that is really fun. And I get to laugh manically, I think the script says. So
Laugh manically says the script.
So yeah, it's very fun to do. The screams that follow are also fun to hear. So yeah, I'm excited to perform that in front of a real audience as well.
When you're playing Willy Wonka, obviously if you've seen the movie with Johnny Depp, there's certainly a certain way he talks. Do you character some of that when you play Willy Wonka, or do you kind of allow your natural voice, or can we hear like a little bit of an impression?
I keep my natural voice, but I think it's mostly about mannerisms.
Okay.
I grew up watching the Johnny Depp version. Of course, I watched. I can't remember his name. Gene Wilder. Yeah, I watched the Gene Wilder as well. And so, but yeah, my favorite growing up was the Johnny Depp version, and so I have kind of taken some of those mannerisms. He's kind of a germaphobe, and so I pretend to back away a little bit from the kids and those dirty little hands and such. So yeah, it's mostly my normal voice, but yeah, I try to embody what I grew up watching.
Do you had mentioned obviously, Johnny Depp in the newer version, Gene Wilder in the original. Did you try to take a little bit of influence from both of those? Because they are very, they're both kooky, but in a very different way.
Yeah, that was actually exactly the goal. I think the character fits really well with the Gene Wilder version of Wonka. But I really personally like the Johnny Depp version, and so I took my favorite parts of each and kind of am attempting to combine them into one character, which has been really fun to do outside of the rehearsals and stuff like that. So yeah, a little bit of both.
I wanted to ask both of you. Obviously, there's some memorable songs from Willy Wonka, including the one we started out with earlier with the Candyman. For each of you, do you have a favorite musical number from the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I love Pure Imagination.
Okay.
it's been in my musical favorite songs list forever. I remember singing it when I was younger, and so being able to now perform it for real is going to be a really, really good experience, something I'm really looking forward to. Yeah.
And Lily, who is playing Charlie, do you have a favorite musical number?
Well, I guess I'm a little biased in saying I've got
the golden ticket.
ticket.
Okay, yeah, it's a good one too. And I want to, we were chatting off the air over the break, and I learned something about you, and I went, wait a minute, I asked you how you relate to Charlie, and this didn't come up because, of course, Charlie came from a large family, and I found out you come from a pretty large family yourself. You have how many siblings?
I have 5 younger siblings.
You have 5. So you're the oldest?
I am.
You're the oldest. Okay. So have you been able to kind of draw from that a little bit, from that kid that comes from a large family type of dynamic?
Yeah, especially because his grandparents are obviously bedridden, so he definitely has to step up to take care of them. And since I have so many younger siblings, it's something I've been doing my whole life.
I bet you have. Listen, I have 3 kids, and I will tell you, I already count on the oldest to help with the 2 younger ones. So
Yep.
I know you have been stuck helping your younger siblings. I want to ask each of you, and for the cast members waiting in the wings, be prepared, because this is going to be the question for everybody. Tell the folks listening and watching why they should come out and check out Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, you can go first.
Especially for me, it's something I grew up watching, and I think everybody has seen Willy Wonka from who I've talked to. It's a really well-known name, and so being able to see something that everybody has heard of and everybody knows, being able to see that in front of your eyes in person is a really, really cool thing. It's a story you might already know, but one that I think still has, real meaning and can be shared over and over and over again with an impactful message. So yeah, that's why you should come to Wonka.
All right, Lily, same question.
Yeah, definitely along those lines. Being able to see different interpretations of these characters is so cool, and everyone in the cast brings their own special, their own personality to the character, which I think is really cool, and I think to share that with the community is a big part of Wayland in itself, and yeah. Come see Willy Wonka.
All right, very good. And the dates, let's see if you have them memorized.
I do.
Okay.
October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd, 7:30, Lindsay Auditorium. Be there. And then, of course, selling tickets at the door. And yeah, like you said, we don't sell out. We'll always take more. We'll always take more.
And if you can't tell already from this conversation, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. No doubts about that. We have Lily Westergaard. She is playing Charlie. Jonah Ratajczak, who will be playing Willy Wonka. And Andrew Estervig, director of the show. We've got to step aside for another break. When we come back, we'll get to meet another one of the cast members from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. It is Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, the store for your floor, and so much more. Pay them a visit at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, also online at proflr.com. So if those pesky kids touring your candy factory have ruined your floors, Professional Floor Covering is definitely the place to stop by. They've got, of course, that great line of Stanton carpet, and they've got a ton of in-stock carpet, and during the month of October, they've got their Gold Take sale, which means that all that in-stock carpet comes with the free carpet cushion. They've also got a great selection of LVP to choose from, all the tile, all that stuff, countertops, cabinets. They've got you set up with your full bathroom remodel. They can set you up with your walk-in shower and all that great stuff. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at proflr.com. Back with more Hometown Today next on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Fall
Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. We are back with some of the folks from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. We already chatted with Lily Westergaard, who is playing Charlie, and Jonah Ratajczyk, who is going to be playing Willy Wonka. We are now joined by Guile Marinas. And Guile, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here today. And tell us about who you are playing in the production.
I'm playing Grandpa Joe. I'm going to be accompanying Lily or Charlie in the tour of the factory. I'm going to be like her main, let's say, guardian.
So is that then, is Grandpa Joe then kind of technically considered the cool grandpa then?
I guess so.
Because he's the one that gets to go on the tour?
I guess so.
There is a part in the show where Charlie has to choose which grandpa. Who's he taking? He's like,
so
well,
you
if I
gotta
have to
address
choose,
that.
I'll take Grandpa Joe. And I'm like, wow,
favorite
that's
grandpa,
really
yeah.
mean.
Kind of
the
have
other
to address
grandparents.
that. Guile, talk a little bit. What's your history in theater? Is this kind of your first production, or have you done some theater before?
Well, this is my debut. This is going to be my first ever theater.
Okay.
Like, this is a wonderful experience so far. It's amazing getting to know everyone, getting to know how to act. I already have a background in singing, so that's a bonus for me. Although memorizing lines, dancing, that's not really my thing.
Okay.
But I'm glad to learn all these things, and it's been a really fun experience so far.
Well, it sounds like if memorizing lines isn't necessarily your thing, maybe the other grandpa would have been the role for no,
Yeah.
Just teasing. Guile Marinas is playing Grandpa Joe in Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Talk a little bit about the character of Grandpa Joe. First of all, how did you end up in that role?
Well, in auditions, I was hoping, just like Lily, I was hoping for a pretty big role. I got Grandpa Joe, so I mean, I was excited when I first saw it. And that role, it's a really fun role to do because I get to be like some kind of parent to someone, and I feel like that mixes with my personality a lot more. So I'm glad I got that role.
Now, the dynamic between you and Charlie, played by Lily, grade-wise, are you guys in the same grade?
I'm a senior. She's a junior. It's
All
just
right.
like a 1 year.
So
gap.
you are her elder a little bit. So
I guess so.
does that help kind of take on that that guider role?
I guess so. I guess
Okay,
it does,
there
yeah.
you go. A little bit being one grade above, offering up some advice. Is there a favorite piece of getting to play Grandpa Joe or anything about Grandpa Joe that you can relate to?
I mean, one thing that I really like to do is I have a cane, so I get to mess around with that a lot. I might not have some fun with it later on in life, but it's fun to just walk around with a stick. But the one part I really like to play about Grandpa Joe and like how it relates to me is just being, again, like that parental figure and getting to like, quote unquote, take care of someone, going like on a field trip. So that's kind of fun.
Now, obviously, Charlie is pretty excited about getting to go and tour the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
How about Grandpa Joe? How is he feeling? Is he feeling excited? Is he feeling skeptical about the whole thing?
I mean, my character got kicked out from the factory. I used to work for him, so it's kind of like it's like a walk through memory lane,
Yeah.
right, kind of deal. But I mean, I guess I look around, try to keep Charlie into like just get him actually into just being obedient. And I mean, we do get a little goofy, fly around for a bit and almost get hit, but yeah, it's fun.
Do you have a favorite part of the show?
Yeah, that one where we taste the fizzy lifting drink.
Ah.
So we fly around and we almost get hit by a fan, but thankfully we found a solution. We burp and we float down.
Well, that's so there's burping in the show.
There is.
I'm sure the kids were incredibly disappointed
Yes.
that they have to burp during a production.
Actually, one of them does not like to burp, and I have to get, like I think I have to get like audio of burping
Sure.
that she won't burp. So
that brings up a good question, which is obviously this is a show about touring a candy factory. Is there some actual candy consumption that gets to happen during the show?
yeah, there'll be real candy for the Wonka bars, and
Okay.
you'll meet Frau Gloop in a little bit. If you remember,
Okay.
Augustus
Yep.
is the chocolate eater, so he gets to
Okay.
eat some stuff.
And some fizzy stuff.
Yep. Some drinks. Yeah.
Very good. Guile Marine, yes, he plays Grandpa Joe in Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. We've also got Andrew Estervig, the director of the show. Guile, obviously a lot of great songs out of Willy Wonka. Do you have a favorite musical number?
Ooh. There's one where Charlie tries to open a chocolate bar, doesn't unfortunately see a ticket, and she storms out of the house, and we are there to cheer Charlie up, and it's called Cheer Up Charlie. And I would say is an emotional song kind of. So I would say that has I would say I like that more.
Okay.
Since you can put in more emotion to it.
Let folks know why they should come out and see Willy Wonka.
Ooh, I would say everyone should come out to the show. It's a wonderful show. Everyone has put a lot of effort into it. Every single one, especially the main roles, I would say. And I don't know, everyone just puts in all their personalities into their show, and it's really wonderful. Y'all should come out. I don't know what else to say, but it's amazing.
It sounds like you and the cast get along very well and have had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely
great. That is Guile Marinas. He's playing Grandpa Joe in Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. And again, those dates.
Right. It's October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd at 7:30 p.m. in Lindsay Auditorium. Be there,
At
please.
Wayland
It's
Academy here
amazing.
in Beaver Dam. We're going to step aside for some news, and when we come back, we'll get to meet some more of the cast of Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka here on Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. McKinstry's Home Furnishings is excited to see everybody downtown this Saturday for Fall Downtown Fest. Lots of fun festivities happening, of course, costume contests. There's the trick-or-treating happening throughout the day. There's a bunch of businesses downtown that are going to be open for trick-or-treating, and they'll have the lots of kids' activities going on. Of course, the big casket races start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can bring the kiddos out to McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Behind the store in the parking lot, they're going to have the big box maze set up again this year, which is always a lot of fun. And then while they're doing that, you can come in the store and take advantage of the store-wide fall sale going on. All 3 floors of McKinstry's, loaded with great things. Of course, all your home furnishing needs, couches, love seats, area rugs, rocker recliners, power lift chairs, dining sets, mattresses, bedroom sets, all that good stuff. And they've got something for every look, no matter what aesthetic you're going for in your home. Come on in, let them know what you're looking for, and their staff is super knowledgeable, super friendly, great to work with, and they're happy to help you find the right match for your home. McKinstry's Home Furnishings under the big red awning in downtown Beaver Dam, online at mckinstrysHomeFurnishings.com. We are back with the cast from Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. We have Andrew Estervig, who is the director of the show, and we're joined by a couple other of the actors from the program. We have Haley Bislew and Kennedy Norris joining us. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with Haley. Haley, who will you be playing in the production of Willy Wonka?
I play Mrs. Beauregard.
Mr. Beauregard.
Mrs.
Tell us a little bit about that character.
So she's a geography teacher, and she's also the mom of Violet Beauregard, who is the girl who turns into a blueberry.
Okay.
And she's kind of a little bit snotty. They're from Georgia, and they don't really have much of a southern accent because I'm bad at it.
At least you're honest. I like the honesty.
I try, but I'm bad, so.
That's okay. That's okay. So, what about this character do you enjoy in particular?
She's a little bit of a jerk.
Okay. So you're telling me you enjoy being a jerk?
I always just play the characters that are a little bit of jerks.
Okay.
So I think I'm good at it.
Maybe it's a good outlet for you to maybe let just a little bit of a different side of you out in a better way.
Yeah.
Is that what happens? Tell us a little bit about your history with theater. Is this a first production for you? What's your history there?
So I started theater my freshman year, and I've been doing all the Wayland shows since. This is my 7th Wayland show.
Oh, wow.
And then, but I did music before that, and I'm in the choir and everything like that.
What were some of the other productions that you've been in?
We did As You Like It, Clue, Spamalot, Museum, Shrek, and Don't Drink the Water.
Okay, very good.
That's very good. Yeah.
Shrek is a good one. That's always a really fun show to put on.
Yeah, it was.
Talk a little bit about getting into this character. Do you do anything special to prepare to play Mrs. Beauregard?
So I try to make sure I have like a little bit like I'm smarter than everyone attitude, because she likes to correct people. She tried to correct Willy Wonka on Loompa Land.
Okay.
Because she didn't believe it was real. So I feel like that's the best way to just, I don't know, be a jerk, I guess.
We're here with Haley Bislew. She plays Mrs. Beauregard in Wayland Academy's production of Willy Wonka. Is there anything about this character that you're drawn to, or that is relatable to you?
I've given her a great sense of fashion.
Oh,
I like to think.
Okay, very good. Now, is this a role? Is that a role you had your eye on when you auditioned? Is it something that just kind of worked out for you?
I was just kind of given it. I wanted a part, like a good one, hopefully. And
Okay.
I ended up with Miss Beauregard. So.
I've been asking everybody this question, but do you have a favorite musical number from the show?
So I'm not in this one, but I really like the song that Veruca sings. I think it's really good, and Ellie, who's a freshman, she plays Veruca, does a phenomenal job.
Okay, very good. That's Haley Bislew. She plays Mrs. Beauregard in Wayland Academy's upcoming production of Willy Wonka. And again, throw out those show dates.
October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd at 7:30 in the Lindsay Auditorium.
At Wayland Academy here in Beaver Dam. We're also joined by Kennedy Norris. And Kennedy, you are playing...
I am Frau Gloop.
Frau Gloop, not to be mistaken with Augustus Gloop. You are playing Frau Gloop, who is Augustus's mother.
Yes, that is true.
Tell us a little bit about that character.
I mean, she's from Germany. She's kind of a nut job. She's definitely an outgoing person. She feeds her son a lot of food and candy. A lot of food and candy.
A lot of food and candy. Would outspoken be an appropriate word to describe Frau Gloop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know, we all know, obviously, Augustus Gloop is a big fan of the chocolate bars, the Wonka bars.
Yes.
We see, him portrayed often with the chocolate on his face. How about Frau Gloop? As big a fan as the chocolate?
In the show, you don't really see her eating, but I like to think that she indulges also.
Okay, very good. Talk a little bit about your history with theater. Is this something newer to you, or have you been in some other productions?
I've been doing theater since I was in 4th grade.
Wow.
Musicals and plays, and I sing in choir. I do a cappella. I do forensics, all the fun stuff.
So that's quite a history. What is there anything in particular about this role that you really enjoy playing?
I think it's just really fun to play such an outgoing character because you really just get to set yourself free and do what you want.
We were talking to Jonah earlier and talking about the fact that he's a good fit for Willy because he's kind of got that charisma about him. With Frau Gloop being kind of outspoken and outgoing, is that something you relate to, and is it kind of opens a different end of the spectrum for your personality?
No, I would definitely consider myself outgoing.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's some typecasting
Mr. Estervig agrees with that one. Is there anything in particular that you do to kind of prepare yourself for the role?
Honestly, the biggest thing for me has been getting the stereotypical German accent down. It's definitely challenging to figure out how to say certain things with a German accent and still make it understandable.
Sure. My next question. It almost escaped me there for a second. The one I've been asking everybody. Obviously, a lot of great musical numbers. Do you have a favorite?
Well, it has to be mine and my son's. It's called I Eat More, and it just talks about all the food I give him and all the food he eats, and there's a chorus of cooks that comes out, and it's really just the choreography is fun and the music is really fun.
Mr. Estervig, you've got a great cast here. They obviously get along well. I got to be honest, I'm a little disappointed that I've asked every person about the favorite musical number, and not one person has said their favorite musical number is the Oompa Loompa song.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. They like the songs that they're in.
That makes sense. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but so the show itself is based on the 1971 musical, or the movie.
Sure.
The movie is based on the book. So,
yep.
but which of course everyone my age knows is the superior movie to the Johnny Depp one, which was brought up before.
We had some debate happening in the Daily Dodge TV studio.
Yeah, so it's based. So the music comes from that movie. So
okay.
All the music that we know from the 71 movie is in it. And then, like Kennedy just said, there's also there's some new music as well. So the I Eat More is a new one. Mike TV has a song that's new. But then, yes, the Oompa Loompa song is in it, and we have lots of dancing Oompa Loompas. And the choreography, Miss Chesley is our choreographer. The choreography is great. It's gonna be awesome.
And you were saying off the air during the last break that obviously the main cast all high school age Wayland Academy students, but Oompa Loompas, you've got a pretty wide age range.
Yeah, we opened it up to anyone who's a community member of Wayland. So we have a lot of younger kids who are either children of our faculty or who are friends of children of our faculty. We have 8 Oompa Loompas ranging from, I think, 3rd grade up through 8th grade. And they are awesome. They're going to steal the show. And then we have 2 adult Oompa Loompas who are members of our faculty, and then we have 3 high school kids who are going to be Oompa Loompas too. And we're taking a more modern take on the costume of the Oompa Loompa, so it's not the typical.
I was going to ask, how many gallons of orange face paint did you have to wear?
We are going to have the orange paint, but it's not going to be the whole face.
Okay.
So because we gave them that deal. And then wigs are expensive, so we actually got some green ball caps. But it's going to be the great part of this show is the nostalgia that comes from it, and it's just 2 hours of forgetting about everything else, and that's what theater's all about. But this one, you can just have fun and just relax and enjoy the music. It's not a heavy story.
I was going to ask, what when you were going to select this show for the fall, what was there anything in particular that drew you to this show?
Well, you look at the cast, you look at the students who you think are going to audition, and you try to find shows that will fit that. But then, I also want to find a show. In this case, where I was looking for a show that that kids would like, that we could bring in a lot of kids. We actually have some schools coming next week to watch it.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm trying to find something that's family friendly.
Yeah.
We did Shrek last year, which was great, and we brought a lot of kids in with that. We also look at the shows I've done in the past and try to find different styles of shows. So we did, Shrek was funny, but it had a little bit of a story too. We did Spamalot the year before that, which was just silly with no story at all. It's just dumb. And then we did As You Like It, which was Shakespeare. So we've done all these different styles. So we try to mix it up so the students get different chances.
When you go through the audition process, walk us through a little bit of how you're selecting the cast for the characters. Do you find a lot of them are coming in with kind of a particular role in mind and seeing if they're a good fit? How does that work?
Well, for our auditions, we just have an open audition where they just try out. So
Okay.
they don't. Some schools will have I want to try out for this particular character. We don't do that. We just audition. But we're a small school. We have about 200 students. So because of that, we take whoever auditions. We don't cut anybody. We just take everybody. And then from there, we try our best to fit who we think will be the best in that position.
Okay. In chatting with everybody today, it's obvious there's some really good camaraderie amongst this cast. They obviously get along well. They have a lot of fun. Rehearsals. Does it feel a little bit like the real Chocolate Factory with the chaos with this group?
I could say that, yeah. Wayland's unique in that there's lots of stuff for these kids to do throughout the day. So we only get an hour and a half of rehearsal a night. So when we do, we work hard and we push them fast and we get things done.
We've got just a minute left of the program. I want to come back to Haley and Kennedy. Why should folks come out and check out Willy Wonka at Wayland?
Willy Wonka is a really good show. I prefer the older version of Willy Wonka,
There you go.
and I think Johnny Depp scares me. Sorry.
Yes, he does.
I think it really encapsulates that, and it's a really good show, and you should go.
Kennedy?
I think that the casting choices have been really great, and I think we just put on a really funny and good production.
And Mr. Estervig, you've got the last word. When again is the shows, and why should folks come out?
Yep, shows are October 31st through November 2nd. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7:30 at Wayland Academy, Lindsay Gym. You should check it out because it's going to be just a great night to come, relax, enjoy some music that I'm sure you know, and some new favorites as well, and have a great time.
And, Halloween night show, that might be a great show to put on your Willy Wonka or Oompa Loompa costume.
That's true. Hey, you want to wear your costume? We'll love it.
I mean, it's all about candy, trick-or-treating,
Yep.
Halloween. It all fits very, very nicely.
Yep.
Again, we've got Lily Westergaard, wrong sheet. We have Haley Bislew, who is playing Mrs. Beauregard, Kennedy Norris, who is playing Frau Gloop, and Andrew Estervig, director of the show. Also, our thanks to Gal Marinas, who is playing Grandpa Joe, who we chatted with earlier. Also, Lily Westergaard, who is playing Charlie, and Jonah Ratajczyk, who is playing Willy Wonka. Again, October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd. Going to be a really fun show, so please be sure to go check that out. Our thanks to everybody here today. That's going to do it for Hometown Today here on 95.3 WBEV.
From Marcus to Marshall.